Hey everyone, Linda here, coming back at you with another video today. Welcome back to AdoreR. Today I'm going to be doing my February and March wrap up. I have 5 books here that I want to go over with you all. First up is Spirited. I realized when I did my March Mystery Month wrap up that I did Kay Hooper's Chill of Fear, and that was not on my TBR for the March Mystery Month read. It was this book. This was supposed to be on my TBR, but I read both of them. Both of them are suspenseful, so yeah, I'll just do this one now. This is Spirited, and this is book number 1 in the Tidewater series by Behre. And this is like a paranormal romantic suspense, and this is on Jewel Scott and detective. And he's a detective. Seth English is a detective. And Jewel, they meet when she come home late one night, and she realized that she lost her keys. So she go up to fire escape, and instead of going into her, because their apartments are, she's living with her, she was adopted, so she's living with her parents next door. She just moved in with them because she just got divorced, and so she can't move back. I think either this is Detroit or Chicago, one of them, I can't remember. And she just moved back home. And she goes out, and she get locked out, so she don't want to wake them up, so she's trying to sneak back into the apartment, and she ends up in Seth's room. He thinks his apartment is being broken into, so that's how they meet. And they continue to meet because he's trying to solve a crime. Some thieves are going around, they're robbing jewelry stores, and he's been put on that case. And it also end up where someone has been murdered. And this is a paranormal because she can see dead people. They hunt her because they want her to help them, either solve their murder or something like that. And she's been trying to deny it all this time because she don't want to do it. She called it a curse instead of some people consider it a gift. She calling it a curse because she don't want to have nothing to do with it. But this, the ghost that's hunting her, she just got murdered, and she's going to be part of the case that she's also involved in, the case that Seth is trying to solve. So that's how they end up together. It didn't do it for me, even though I love the scenario in this, because I love having a detective, and then you have the female, and she's psychic, and he's kind of skeptic on believing that she can actually do what she can do. But this one didn't do it for me. I only gave it 3.5 stars, and I won't be continuing with this series. And this is Spirited, book 1 in the Tidewater series by Behre. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. Next up, yes, I had E.L. James, The Mister. Read this one. It's contemporary. This was about Maximum Travelane, and he's like from an aristocratic family. And what is her name? Alyssa Domici, and I think she's Russian or something like that. I think she's Russian or something like that. She's from over in that area, and she ends up in London because she's trying to get out of this. Her dad is trying to marry her off to this guy, and she don't want to be married to him. But I guess her dad's trying to get, I guess he's going to get money or whatever for her or something. But her mom helps her escape, and through these people supposed to be helping her get to London, and that she ends up in an even worse situation because these people, these men or whatever, have a bunch of girls with them, and they're trying to put them into prostitution. So she escaped from them, and she ends up finding, because her mom give her a letter to contact her friend who lives in London to help her out when she get there, but her mom don't know that these guys are crooks or whatever. So she runs away from them. She gets away, and she finds the lady, her mom's friend, and her mom helped her to get a job cleaning, and that's how she meet Maximum, because she cleans his apartment. And like I said, he's a aristocrat. His brother is I don't know whether his brother a duke or a viscount or something like that, but his brother ended up getting killed on a motorcycle accident, and Max has to take over because Max used to live in being a playboy and just living his life. He ain't got to worry about no kind of taking care of nothing. But now that he become the actual lord or whatever, he got to cut all that out, and he got to actually start going to the office and taking care of his brother's business and running their estate and all this stuff like that. So that's how they meet at his apartment, and you know, they have a connection or whatever. And the men that Lisa ran away from, they're still looking for her. So they're gonna find her out that she works at Maximum Apartment, and Max gonna take her, and they're gonna he's gonna take her away from the apartment. They're gonna go to his country estate or something, and that's where they're really going to get to know each other and start liking each other. Well, they already liked each other, but you know, they never did do anything about it. But when they go to the country estate, it all starts there. But this didn't do it for me either. I gave this 3.5 stars. I couldn't get into either Maxima or Alyssa or whatever her name is. It didn't do it for me. No. But I like to have this book. I think I mentioned on here before, I like these like flimsy books. But yeah, the Mister, nope, didn't do it for me. 3.5 stars. I won't be reading either one of these again. And next I have book 1 in the Unconditional series, I guess. And this is Returning His Favor by Jacqueline Francis. When I read the synopsis, this sounded interesting because the main guy here, his name is Jacob King. He left his Amish family. He's ex-Amish, so that sounded interesting. When I read that, I wanted to see how that was going to work out, because he leaves home. I think he left home when he was like 17 or whatever, and he decided not to go back. You know, I think the Amish can leave and, you know, go into I call it the real world, leave and go into the real, because, you know, they in their own got their own little world there. And he leaves and go into the real world, and he likes it there, so he stays. He didn't go back, so now that he's excommunicated or whatever you want to say it. And he meets Melissa Dancer one day when her car breaks down, because he owns a car shop. And he meets her, he's out jogging or whatever, and her car breaks down, and he go over and his dog run up and almost knock her down, because he has a big dog with him. And that's how they meet. And he tells her that he owns a car shop, and he get her car picked up, and he drops her off at home. And he said he'll go back and pick her car up and take it to his shop and fix it. So that's how they meet. This was okay. It didn't do it for me. What caught my attention, well, you know what caught my attention was this cover here. But then I went and read the synopsis, and that caught my interest too, but it didn't do it for me. Because it had something in here, like, looked like the author just threw in a, what you call it, a stalker out of nowhere. I was like, where'd he come from? I did not know. It didn't do it for me. But it was just on them falling in love, and him trying to help her with this, when he goes and help her with this stalker situation. And yeah, it didn't do it for me. I just gave it 3.5 stars. This is another one. I won't be reading this again. And then the last 2 books here is in a series. This is the All the King's Men book, All the King's Men series by Kennedy Ryan. Now this one, highly recommend. I really enjoyed it. When I read it, I had to go get I read the second book. I got this book from the library, and I read the second book off of Kindle Unlimited. I was so happy it was on Kindle, because when I read this right here, I was like, oh no, because I didn't see the second book at the library on their website. I didn't see it, so I couldn't get it. So I just read so I was like, I'll just get the first one and read it and see what it's like, because I might not like it, so ain't no use in me trying to get the second book anyway. But when I read it, I gave it 4.5 stars, people. Excellent book. I really enjoyed it. And here's the second book in the series. Let me see, can I get it to come up here? And it's called The Rebel King. This is how the second book look. I hope you can see it there. This is on Maximum Cade, I think his name is Maximum Cade, and Lennox Hunter. Lennox is an American Indian. She's part Indian, and they meet she's young when they meet. She's about 16 or 17. She's still in high school, and he's like 24 or something. I think he's getting ready to finish college and go on. I think he's getting ready to finish, or he's working on his master's or something. I forgot what he was doing, but he's older than she is, and they meet because his dad is rich. And he's on the plane with his dad going to where Lennox live. I don't know if it's in Arizona or somewhere, because his dad is an oil man, and they're trying to put in a pipeline on Indian land. So that's how he meet Lennox, because Lennox and some other people are out there protesting this pipeline being built on Indian land, and he hear Lennox make this speech that really touched him. Maximum do. He hear her making a speech while he's in the car, window roll down or whatever. He hear this, and it really touched him. So he tried to see who this person is making this speech, and he see Lennox, and he kind of fall for her. You know, it really touched him. So when the police and stuff show up, he jumps out of his dad's car and try to go over there and save Lennox, and the police arrest him. And I didn't understand. I was like, if his dad is so rich and stuff, I don't know why his dad didn't go over, you know, like, my son is not in there. But next scene, you see him and Lennox and all the other people are all thrown in jail. And him and Lennox are talking, and that's when he found out that she's like 17, and he realized that, yeah, I can't be talking to this girl or whatever because she's too young. So this is broken up into a couple of sections. So that's the first part where they meet. And because his dad shows up and get him out of jail, but Lennox, she doesn't realize who he is. She doesn't realize that his dad is the one that's trying to put this pipeline in, because he never tells her. But someone shows up and get him out of jail. No, he's still in jail. Lennox's dad shows up and get her out of jail. And Max is still in jail because his dad come later to get him. He gets out of jail later, but Lennox is the first one to leave. But they don't meet again until Lennox graduates from high school, and her friends all decide to go to Europe on a vacation, you know, for graduation. And just so happened, I think I mentioned before, when they had these coincidences where you just so happen to meet the guy that you really like. Cause she had a thing for him too. She thought he was you know, nice looking too, and they had some little sexual attraction going on there, even though she was like 16 or 17 years old. And I think, like I said, I think I mentioned where, yeah, these coincidences, like I said, you be walking and you have eye contact with somebody, and you know, you get that feeling, but you never see that person again. But yeah, they happen to meet again. Guess who she meets when she in Paris with her friends? And I guess she's 17, 18, 19 years old by now, and meets or is she getting ready to graduate from college? I think she's getting ready to graduate from college. They graduate from college. She's out of high school and she's graduating from college. Yeah, because she was still too young. She's graduating from college. She done graduated from college. And they're going on a trip to celebrate, you know, graduating from college and all this stuff, and what they're going to do once they get out of college and all this stuff like that, to decide what they're going to do. So they take a trip, and they're in a club one night, and guess who she meets there? Yeah, it's good old Maximum. I was like, really? Okay, all right. But I went with it, and so that's where they start their relationship. You know, something gonna happen. That's when she find out that his dad is the one that had started all that trouble trying to put that pipeline down on. Well, he did put the pipeline down on Indian land, and that's where this book kind of ends on that. And then it picks up on the let's see here. It picks up in this book of him. They're much older, because when he leaves, that's the third segment of the book, where he does leave and he just give her time to get over the whole situation. I think it's about 10 years before they meet again, and that's when he decided that, yeah, he's going to try to get her back. So I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. The Kingmaker and the Rebel King, book 1 and book 2. Both of these are on Kindle Unlimited. If you want to read, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. Go in there and check it out. I think you will love it. I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's the Kingmaker and the Rebel King. I've ordered, like I said, I got this from the library, so I've already ordered this, and I've already ordered this. I think I mentioned in my other video that I'm going to have I got a book haul coming up, and these 2 books will be in there because these are keeper for me. I gave them both 4.5 stars. And that's all I have for now. That's all I got for you today. Like I say, I will be coming back and doing a book haul on my next video. But until then, keep reading those romances, and I'll see you all later. Bye.